So if we start with our first couple of lines here to see what we see. So we have Jack and Jill at home together after their fall. The bucket spilled, her knees badly scraped. And Jack with not even an aspirin for what's broken. What helps out? Canyon?
Aspirin for what's broken.
Okay, so aspirin definitely stands out. And why is that important?
Because using the context of not even an aspirin for what's broken, I didn't take it as I took it more symbolically of rather than just being a bone that's broken, his life is being tough, and so he wants to use the aspirin as a drug to get away from like pain or the suffering that he goes through in normal life.
Okay, and what kind of pain does he suffer?
Emotional.
Jacqueline, emotional, and also we know physical. Okay, so he experiences both emotional and physical pain. All right, very nice. What else pops out, Jacqueline? Okay, and why is that? Why is the bucket spilled important?
We thought it was more of like a symbol that the lives were turned upside down, that they're never going back. What they
Okay. It's never going to go back. All right. Fair enough. Anything else hop out there in the first three lines?
I saw the aspirin a little differently.
Okay.
And it was because of looking ahead to the needing to pay the boy to fetch the water. It made me think that maybe it's more a comment on they're too poor. So he doesn't even have an aspirin. He doesn't have even something as simple as that to help him. There's nothing that he can do to make the pain go away or to help his condition.
Okay, so that they have some financial problems. All right. Anything else in those first three lines of significance? Colton, what'd you see? You guys had something in that.
Her knees badly scraped.
And what's important about her knees being badly scraped?
Well, it represents her being inferior in the relationship that she
Okay, that she is inferior to Jack. Although, like kneeling, being stuck on one's knees, okay? So not even an aspirin for what's broken. Is an aspirin a strong drug? No. But it does its job, right? So what kind of pills does Jack need? Vicodin? Okay, so he needs a pain. But is that going to help him physically? What pill does he need emotionally? I mean, this is published 2002. What would be the most popular pill to help someone struggling emotionally? Prozac. Okay, Prozac is the #1 prescribed antidepressant. So that might be for his physical pain. Now, emotionally, what's wrong with him physically? What kind of pill does he need for physical? Let's add the next line. We can see the arduous evenings ahead of them. What stands out? Arduous. What does arduous mean? What? Hard, difficult, tough. So what would be an activity that would be difficult in the evening for a couple if someone's in a wheelchair? Sex. Absolutely correct. Okay? So not only do they have other woes, they appear to have sexual woes as well. So what pill might he need? Yeah, perhaps one of those pills. Okay? So now, as we come to our next couple of lines, our mistake was trying to do something together, Jill sighs. Jack says, if you'd have let go for once, you wouldn't have come tumbling after. Can I hear from some of those groups who haven't spoken yet? What'd you see? Rama?
That they weren't good from the start.
That they were what from the start?
That they weren't good from the start.
How do you know? What language?
Well, our mistake was trying to do something together because, it's kind of like, I don't know how to explain it, but
Okay, so Ramo, are there any situations where a couple stays together even though they shouldn't have even from the get-go?
Yeah.
Like,
I don't know. But
why does a couple stay together even if they're not meant for each other? Children or money or religion or fame or parents or anything else? Religion, yeah, okay. It was stated, that's okay. Any of those, right? Any of those. Probably most frequently, which of those? Probably children. Probably children. Okay, some of your parents might have ended up together because of that, maybe not. Some of your parents might have been a little shotgun wedding, maybe not. Don't know, don't really want to know. Anything else in those lines that bear investigation?
It says if you have to let go going to live, how come that
Okay.
and we thought that it meant that she was kind of clingy.
Kind of what? Clingy. Sure seems that way, right? A little clingy. Because it's, and also apparently he's in a wheelchair because of her. It's her fault. It's her fault that he's in a wheelchair. That'd be rough, right? If you were living with someone who was confined to a wheelchair and they blamed you for putting him there, that would not be a very comfortable situation. Okay, for sure. He's in a wheelchair, but she's still an item for the rest of their existence, confined to a little rhyming story. How about the Melanie Angel Holly triumvirate? What'd you guys have?
In your past, that's your future.
What does? What? Confined to a little rhyming story. And what does it mean, Hallie?
That your past affects your future.
Okay. And why does your past affect your future? Okay, certainly true. If you decide to go home tonight, Hallie, and enjoy some heroin, is there going to be a consequence to that? Yeah, probably. That's probably going to end badly for Hallie. So we might want to say polite goodbyes to her today.
She's a little bit tough. She's only good.
Why have you noticed she's been wearing long sleeves all the time? Okay, Canyon, what else?
Manhunter found the wheelchair, but she's still an item.
Okay, so what does that mean she's still an item?
I was kind of thinking that he's still, as part of the relation to the inferior part that Fulton pointed out, that despite his physical, what's the word I'm trying to think?
Don't know.
Ability, his physical disability, that he still thinks that he's more privileged than she is.
Okay, but what does that mean she's still an item?
That she's
Yeah, she's still hot. She's still attractive. So disability next to hotness. Okay? Would you want to be, yeah, go ahead.
We thought that might stand for like jealousy in the relationship because he has a disability, but she's still.
Well, right? How could it not? Wouldn't that be incredibly difficult to, if there was not, to stay with someone who was physically disabled, if you were able-bodied, unless you were really in love with that person? It's a heck of a sacrifice, right? Okay? So now we come, anything else? Cyan?
When we were looking later on and we came back to this line and we thought that maybe we saw it a little bit differently than the sex angle. We saw it maybe being society. We don't like to make fun of disabled people. And in the original poem, Jack and Jill went up the hill. Jack falls and it makes it sound like he slips. It's an accident. Then Jill comes tumbling after. It sort of implies maybe that she chose to. And so it could be he's in a wheelchair and that kind of saves him from everybody's scorn. They're like, oh, we feel sorry for the disabled person, but she's still an item. People still talk about her, people still judge her, people still bring her up when they talk about whatever happened.
She was trying to hurt herself.
Yeah.
And he's the one who gets hurt. Is that what you're saying?
Kind of, like, they both got hurt for whatever reason, but he's saved from anyone looking into why he got hurt because he's in a wheelchair, they feel bad for him. But she so maybe gets the scorn for whatever happened because she's not hurt. And it,
Oh, survivor's guilt.
yeah.
Okay.
You can't make fun of a disabled person, so they're going to go
Okay.
after the person they can make fun of.
All right, that could definitely tie into that idea of jealousy. That she has a little survivor guilt, which does happen to people who endure tragedies. Okay? We tell it to our children who laugh, already accustomed to disaster. We'd like to teach them the secrets of knowing how to go too far. But Jack is baying with his soup spoon. Jill is pulling out her hair. Can I hear from any groups I haven't heard from? Jennifer, lay it on us.
He said anything with his and said that he was demanding and possibly
Okay, so a little bit verbally abusive here. Bring me my soup. That would be rough. What else? What else stands out? I guess I have heard from every group. So from anybody, Anna?
Maybe down the road he becomes more mentally damaged and she has to kind of feed him.
Where in the language do you get that?
Because she has to take care of him.
Where in the language do you get that?
I don't know, because pulling out your hair might mean you're frustrated with your situation, stressed.
You saw the banging of the soup spoon because he hit his head. Over time, we thought he might have acquired more mental damage to go along with the physical, and so.
I think you're reading a little too much in. Okay, and you're kind of extrapolating on your own, you're getting a little bit beyond the language of the poem. Because I don't think you can tie that particular idea of head trauma to that. I don't think. Okay, I think you're reaching a little bit. Hallie?
was sort of symbolized they were for him because
Okay, that idea of like the silver spoon. Okay? Anything else in that little section there?
Spoons for your soup. You're doing well.
Thank you, Shane. When you have separate spoons for your soup, according to Shane, you're doing well. Or you bought a pack of soup spoons at Target as part of a flatware set.
Oh, okay.
Anything else here? Accustomed to disaster? That doesn't do anything for you? Jacqueline?
What if thinking the already accustomed to disasters, like expecting bad things to always happen? Like expecting to fail at everything new?
Okay. An expectation of failure. Like things are bad from the start. Alright? Anything else with the rest here? Out of decency we turn away, as if it were possible to escape the drift of our lives, the fundamental business of making do with what's been left us. So anything left there for us to know?
The group saw that when she says as if it were possible to escape from the drift of our lives, like how drifting, you can't really help but drift, like especially if you think about like if you're in water, we just said it was hard to escape from that.
Okay. As though it's inescapable. And are there certain things in our lives that are inescapable? Like growing up and death and failure and taxes and what? School and motion and Ramo and money and
Cars.
cars
Money
and
has escaped me. Trust me.
Still old women.
it's because you spent a quarter on 2 dum-dums from Miss Bird. Investing like a fool in something that will provide no dividends. Okay? Any of those things? Anything else up here?
The last line where it said, avoiding, I know, when it's saying, like, we turn away as if it were possible to escape the drift of our lives, the fundamental business of making do with what's been left us. When you look at someone in a poor, I've heard this a lot, some people, when they look at people in a poor situation, they say, oh, well, it's their fault, and they should be making better choices, or they should have made better choices, when in reality, no situation is black and white. Society likes to think that way because it's hard for them to grasp the idea of working with what you have in a tough situation.
Fair enough. Okay, if you're a quadriplegic, paraplegic, it's not as though your back's going to regenerate. Okay, last thing with your partner or partners. Tone and theme. What two words work for tone and what things connect to all of society in this poem? Okay, one last thing. Can you determine tone and theme? One possible set of answers. The tone is melancholy and playful, and the theme is relationships and their negative consequences. Okay, thanks for stopping by. Hope you enjoyed the poem after. Bye-bye.